Hey, what's up guys? This is Technical Tim here, and I want to thank everyone so much who's been liking all my videos and subscribing to the channel. It means a lot, and I'd really appreciate if you just took the time out and gave this video a quick thumbs up. And I do want to apologize, like I had announced over the last week or two that I'd be sending out videos for every fight, and if I ever get behind, I would do a final thoughts video, and that's what I'm doing now, and it's actually fight day. Fights start in like 8 hours. But I figure I could still get this video out, and I planned, on last week, it was my birthday and family was in town, so that's why I kind of ended up just doing a final thoughts video. My goal is to not have to do a final thoughts video, and usually I won't, but yeah, last week family was in town, and then this week, if you guys don't follow me on Twitter, I had big time technical difficulties, and just kind of like uploading on YouTube and things like that, and some of my video software. So that's why I kind of got behind. I was actually like well prepared on tape, on taping and everything. Just that's why it didn't work out. But I'm still going to talk about every fight right now, kind of like I did last week. I'll go through each one because I try to keep these videos under 20 minutes. I'm not going to go in depth in every one. Hold on, let me get some water real quick. But I won't go in depth in everyone, but the ones I plan on playing, I'll comment a little more, and the ones I don't plan on playing, I'll kind of give like a quick reason why, and that's it. So, and the ones I've already covered, I'm just gonna pass. So the first fight of the night, Viviane Araújo, she's coming in on, probably butchered that name, she's coming on short notice to face Talita Bernardo. Bernardo is fighting some other newcomer in her first fight, and this got made. I watched tape on this. There's a big size difference here. Bernardo's a lot bigger. I think Viviane is coming up from a lower weight class, like 115, and she weighed in at 131 yesterday. But on tape, Viviane is a much better striker, and she's at plus 260 right now. And I was trying to look up her jiu-jitsu credentials, her grappling credentials, but she's listed as a black belt, and on tape, all I saw was her offensive wrestling, and her offensive wrestling looked good, and her jiu-jitsu looked pretty formidable too. So I'm super tempted to play Araújo, but I'm just a little concerned because the thing is about Bernardo's game is if you don't have defensive wrestling, you're kind of fucked. So it's like, that's great that Viviane can do all those things, but she needs to have defensive wrestling to be able to take advantage. But if she has defensive wrestling, she should win this fight because she has a lot of advantages, like especially the striking and the speed. But she's outsized here. If I had more information and I got to see her defensive wrestling and saw it was pretty good, I'd play her even with the size difference. But because I don't know for sure and short notice, even though smaller women's fighters like her, like 115 pounders, I don't think short notice is an issue for cardio. Like their cardiovascular systems, like the female fighters are usually a lot better, especially the smaller ones. But I'm tempted. I'm not going to play it though, but I was really tempted. I think the lack of information, I want to stay disciplined, not give away, even if it's just like a half a unit I was going to play. I'll just stay away. Barcelos, Barcelos should kill him. His ITD is minus 350 right now. It's one of the highest ITDs I've ever seen for like a non-heavyweight fight. And it's justified. I agree. He's going to finish this guy. No action there. Line's too juiced. Carolina and Cachoeira. I think the line's about where it should be. It's minus 165 for Carolina. It's hard to know exactly. Carolina's more technical, and I do think her straight punches and her, she's a lot, she throws straight, and Cachoeira comes a lot slower and just big hooks, and I feel like Carolina will be able to catch her a lot, but I would not be surprised if Cachoeira just kind of toughs it out, walks her down, and kind of edges out rounds that way too. So it's kind of like a whatever fight. I don't really give a fuck. I have no action on it. BJ Penn Guida, I already covered that. No action there. Alves Moraes, no action. I think it's a pretty close fight. I was tempted on Moraes. I think he's going to... Sometimes Alves doesn't like if you walk him down. We saw that with Krause, and Moraes will at least wing hooks and just kind of walk you down a little bit. So I could see that going. And Moraes' jiu-jitsu game's probably better, but he's not like the greatest wrestler in the world. And Alves, like, although he can jump guillotines and put himself into trouble, I could see this fight going a wide variety of ways, and I'm not too confident betting either guy. This is kind of one of those fights that's kind of like, it's kind of like the Cachoeira fight too. I see it in that like 60-40 range. I see and I don't really know which way to go, if that makes sense. Like, I could see either person kind of being favored, and so you would think you would just want to play the underdog there, but I'm just not confident enough to precisely say like that person should be favored. So I think it's just kind of one of those 60-40 fights where I don't really know where it should be. I know it's going to be close, but I don't know precisely where it should be. So I usually pass on those, and those are sometimes tempting to just jump on the underdog, but I tend to throw away. I like to be a little more precise in predicting. Moises Halovo, not much to say. I think it's a close fight, and it's lined close, and I think that's right. I think I've passed on pretty much every fight so far, just so you guys know. And then Nogueira and Spann. I think Nogueira's going to win this fight. And I'm not going huge on him. He's plus 130 right now, and I think he should be favored. I'm gonna risk just a little bit on him, probably, and like I might toss him in like a parlay or something, whatever. But it won't be a lot of action. But I think he's gonna win this fight. Nogueira, I think he's got some pretty good boxing and pressure. And the thing is, even though he's old, if you look at who he's been knocked out against, he got knocked out 2 times in the last 12 years. One was against Rumble. I throw that out. I don't hold that against him. It's fucking Rumble. And the other one was against Ryan Bader, and that was like a ground wrestling accumulation beatdown. It wasn't like because Nogueira's chin was shot. It was just like positional dominance and kind of just like being a worse wrestler. And so I don't think his chin's bad. That's what I want to say. And then also, I think his cardio, I think, is better than Spann. Spann gasses, and Spann is kind of like a non-technical grappler who relies on athleticism. Like, even though he can throw a heavy shot here and there on the feet, he likes to get his wrestling going, and he'll kind of gas. And I feel like Nogueira will just, with his walking down style, will just kind of walk him down, box him up. And I think Nogueira's takedown defense is pretty good. Yeah, I think Nogueira's going to take him out. I really do. And Spann's like power, I don't think is all that crazy, and he doesn't have a good chin. He gets wobbled all the time. I think Nog's gonna win that fight, and I don't see Spann getting a submission. I don't think he can win a decision either. I really don't. I don't think he can I could be wrong, but I don't think he's gonna out grapple Nog en route to a decision. I don't think he has like the cardio to do it, or I don't think he has like the skill or the cardio just to outstrike Nog over 15 minutes in Brazil, where the crowd is going to be on Nogueira's side. So it's like he kind of needs a KO, and I don't think he's going to KO Nog. I really don't. So I was just looking, and then whenever I look at Nog, I'm like, yeah, he could easily out-decision him. It's in Brazil. He could sprawl and brawl to an easy win, or just out-cardio him. Or I think he's got the more, like, I could easily see him getting a knockout here. I think he could just walk him down, tire him out, and put it on him. So I'm on Nog there, and I'm not going heavy, but I think he's going to win that fight. I really do. So yeah. Irene Aldana and Correa. I have Aldana in a couple parlays. Not much to say other than that. I think she's going to, got around like minus 300 range, and even a little bit below that untracked, just on my own like personal betting. And I think she's going to light Correa up. This is another thing. It's kind of like the Spann-Nogueira fight. Whenever you look at the win paths for Correa, I don't think Beth can sub Aldana. Aldana has a really good takedown defense, and her post-hand usage is fucking amazing. If you watch Aldana versus Talita Bernardo, Bernardo's not that bad at getting takedowns, and she shot like 11 or so, and she got pretty deep on the hips at times, but and Aldana's good at stepping out of single legs, but whenever you do put Aldana down, she's pushing you down to where your grip, whenever you're kind of wrapped around the legs, is below her knees, where then she can get a post hand and stand up. And her post hand usage, I think, is going to be, and her takedown defense is going to allow her to not be grinded out on the floor by Beth, and I think that's what Beth has to do here. I don't think Beth can get a submission. Aldana looks like a pretty good defensive grappler, like getting back to her feet. I don't think Beth can knock her out, so it's like I don't see a submission or a knockout for her. And then her decision, if she can't really get the grappling going, which I don't think she can, has to be to kind of like win a striking fight. She's way smaller. She's 4 inches shorter. Her hands are way slower. She doesn't throw as much output, and she's just going to she's hittable. She's going to get fucking murked, I think. I've seen people kind of think Beth might be value, and I don't think so at all. I think she's going to get absolutely lit the fuck up this fight, and that's why I have Aldana in a couple parlays. Alves Staropoli, I've talked about that fight, no play there. Aldo Volkanovski. So I was leaning Aldo pre-tape, and then once I taped it, I'm going to play Volkanovski small, kind of similar to Nogueira, like nothing huge. If both of those guys lose, Nogueira and Volkanovski, if they both lose, it's not going to ruin my night at all. My night kind of hangs on Andrade a little bit, and a little bit on some parlays with Aldana. But I really think one of those guys is going to win, and if they do, like, you obviously will profit, and I think both might win. But Volkanovski, I'm small on him like Nogueira. Sorry, I'm kind of like thinking about my plays, but Aldo just doesn't throw enough, man. Like, and I know the Brazilian crowd is scary, but at plus 130, I'll take Volkanovski. He throws 6.5 significant strikes per minute, and he doesn't get hit as much as you would think. He's always the aggressor. And what I like about him is I know his defensive striking's not good. All the striking guys are going to yell at me for that, but at the same time, like, output wins striking battles. You might be a more technical striker, but like, I mean, look at, like, judges love output, and I know it's Aldo in Brazil, but like, Volkanovski, I think, may double him up on the significant strikes. He could get KO'd early, I agree. His defensive striking is a little bit of a liability, and Aldo is dangerous, but if Aldo doesn't put him away, Volkanovski's going to probably double him up in strikes, and I think that will be enough for the judges to just give it to him, even in Brazil. And Volkanovski, I think, will have a very dominant third round and could maybe put Aldo away late. And what I saw about Volkanovski, what I liked about him in the Chad fight, and a guy I talk fights with, Gugabe, is going to disagree with me here. I do a podcast with him. Really good capper, by the way. But he's on Aldo. And I know he's going to disagree with me here, but I thought Volkanovski looked better against Mendez than people kind of gave him credit for. People were really talking about how it was Mendez kind of declined. I do agree he was declined a bit. But also, like, Volkanovski's pressure game at 6.5 strikes per minute, I don't even know if Chad, I think Chad, even in his prime, was would have been, especially in a 5-rounder, would have probably been KO or bust against Volkanovski. I really do. I don't think he could have kept up. And I think Volkanovski's pace and just overall striking output is being a little underrated here. And Aldo only throws 3 strikes per minute, so he might get doubled up here. And what I like about Volkanovski, he has 2 strikes that I think are kind of safe that can score him points. He throws leg kicks that I didn't really always realize, but he threw a lot of them against Chad, and he does throw a jab as well. And I think both of those are going to score him points, and then can kind of keep him safe early. And then if Aldo starts to slow down, I think Volkanovski's going to pour it on. So Aldo has a very high percentage chance to knock out Volkanovski. I do agree, but at dog money with a 2-to-1 striking output ratio, I have no problem playing a little bit on Volkanovski. I'm not going heavy on him because it's in Brazil. I understand the risk, but I have no problem playing him either, and I think it's justified to play him. One other thing I wanted to say is look at Aldo, Look at Aldo versus Moicano. He gave away that first round. He doesn't always throw that much, so there might not even be that much early danger for Aldo. Aldo might just give away a round or two if he's not throwing that much either. So he could just gas himself out or just kind of lose an output battle by just not doing anything. So yeah, like that's kind of my thoughts on that. Output means a lot, guys. Like if you look at the numbers on people who get decisions and mostly striking battles, the large majority of people win if they throw more output. So it means a lot, and it can kind of be a shortcut a little bit. So I have no problem playing Volkanovski there. Not huge. I'm only risking like a unit total on him, so it's not a big play. It won't ruin my night, but I have a feeling he's going to win. Cannonier Silva, no action here. I could see this fight going a wide variety of ways. I could see Silva getting a finish. I could see Cannonier getting a finish. I could see Silva winning a very controversial decision where he doesn't do much, or I could just see Silva looking good for a round and then inexplicably not throwing output for 2 rounds. We've seen Silva give away too many rounds before for me to play him, and it's also in Brazil. I'm not playing Cannonier at an implied 54% in Brazil either, so stay away from me. Diego Ferreira, Trinaldo, fight got canceled. I was on Ferreira there. That was one of my main plays of the night. I'm pissed that got canceled, and I got him at a good line. It's kind of a fight I haven't been telling anyone about, but I saw some grappling nuances, and I think Diego was going to fuck him up. Andrade Nami Rose. You guys know I'm on Andrade. She's pretty much the key to my night. I still think I can profit if she loses based on some of the other fights. If the other 3 fights hit or something, or even 2 of them. But if Andrade wins, my night will probably be good. And you guys know I did a video on that. I think striking output in Brazil, I'll totally take it. I have 3 Brazilian fighters tonight. I think it's usually good to go with the Brazilian fighters because 60% of the time Brazilians win on the scorecards. So that's pretty big. The only one I don't have is Volkanovski, and the reason I'm justifying it, like I said, is there's a big striking output difference here. And I don't think Aldo, I think Aldo maybe bailed himself out against Moicano by getting a finish, and I think he needs a finish here to win. And could he get it? Absolutely. But if he doesn't, I think he's going to lose. I really do. Could get a hometown decision, but plus 130, I'll take the dog money. If Volkanovski was favored, I wouldn't be playing him. But plus 130, I'll take it. And I think that output's going to give Aldo some trouble, man. I really do. So that's my video preview. So in summary, Andrade, she's kind of a key to my night. Got Aldana in some parlays and things like that. I have a couple props too. If you want them, just buy my picks. It's $8 an event, guys, so it's not expensive. And then I have a little bit on Volkanovski and Lil Nog. So hopefully we come out clean tonight. And if Andrade, let's go Andrade. Andrade is kind of the key tonight, boys. So thanks, guys. Bye.